This video is an introduction to hiking socks, and I promise you I'll try and make it as interesting as possible, okay? Oh, the wind's died down. Oh. What I'm showing is a standard civilian hiking sock by Bridgedale, HJ Hall commando sock, a general issue British Army sock, and an Arctic issue British Army sock. Now they're all a mix of a wool blend, and so let's get into it, have a closer look. And these are your standard civilian socks by Bridgedale. Now they look, I don't know whether you could see, I've got this one inside out, so they're loop stitched around the toe and the bottom of the foot, the heel, and just above the heel. Okay, I don't know whether you could just see that. And also they're a standard height, okay, for a civilian boot. So there, I've got a pair on now, so that's what they look like. There you go. Okay, so they like that, and also they're made of 2% lycra, 2% polyester, 44% nylon, and 52% merino wool. Now these were 24 quid, okay, but I got them half price, so I did buy a few, okay. And that was in the Cotswolds outdoors. Just bear in mind, with reference to price, it's the year 2026. So that's your, I suppose, standard civilian hiking sock by Bridgedale. And now these are the HJ Hall commando socks. Now I have to say that the commando bit is a bit of a sales ploy, I think. I mean, these socks look exactly the same as the ones that I was issued when I was in the army in the 80s and the mid 90s. So, you know, they just look exactly the same compared to the ones that are up next. The army issue ones that are up next are a more modern one. They just seem a little bit different, a bit more thicker. But anyway, yeah, so I'll get into it. So these socks, this one is inside out. They're loop stitched again on the toe, around the foot, around the heel, and just above the heel there. Okay, they're high length for the high length, stereotypical high length army boot. Now they're made of 40% polyamide, sorry, and 60% wool, and they come in different colors. They're a light blue, a dark blue, a black, a green, and these cream ones as well. And they're of a NATO standard apparently. I would say they are as well. And also the price is around about 13 quid on eBay. So anyway, there you go. That's the HJ Hall commando sock. Very good sock. Had them for years and years and years, and I'll still keep on buying them. I think, well, I bought a big load and they'll last for years. I think, oh, that's right, I believe they got a 6 months guarantee on them if you buy them from their website. I'm not sure about eBay, but yeah, they're very good. They last for years, 10 years, you know, easy. So there you go, that's the HJ Hall commando sock. And now for the standard issue British Army sock. Now I only just bought these. I bought a handful, and they seem a little bit different, a bit more thicker, a bit more softer. I don't know whether it's because I haven't worn them in yet or something, I'm not sure, but they seem a little bit warmer. Okay, that's why I bought the civilian ones, for, you know, because I don't go in the cold so much these days. But anyway, I'll get into it now. Again, this one's inside out. It's loop stitched around the foot, around the toes there, bottom of the foot, heel, and just above the heel there. High length again for the high length army boot. Now I'm not sure about the colours, I don't know anything about that, but it's made of 35% nylon, 65% wool. Okay, and they were £12.99. I'd call it 13 quid. So that's a good price for what you get, really. But I did find them quite warm. They were sort of advertised as British Army issue. All right, not commando or whatever, you know. So I'm sure that even the elites get these as well, if you like. But anyway, they're very good sock, but I just found them a little bit warmer than normal. So you know, so anyway, they're very good, and that's all I got to say about them. And finally, the British Army Arctic sock. Now not a lot to say really. They're extreme cold weather, that's what they call them. British Army Arctic Socks Extreme Cold Weather, or ECW. Now they're undyed, and also they're high length for the high length boots as per usual, and they're loop stitched actually all the way round from that end all the way round to about that length, that bit there. And I think size large is size 9 to 13 in British sizes, don't quote me on that. And they all I can say is I have worn them before, and I have been issued them before as well, and they're very warm. All right. That's all I could say. I can't remember my experiences in the army, but I didn't get cold, but anyway, they're pretty warm. So there you go. Oh, the price of them is well, I seen them for £8.99, but they were generally about 13 quid on eBay, and they're made of 30% nylon, 70% wool. So there you go, that's the British Army Arctic sock. So my final thoughts on these socks. Well, I have to say this is only for hiking now, not everyday general use and wear and all that. Just hiking. These socks, the civilian socks, are good on the lowland and highland for summer, and probably okay for winter as well. Just bear in mind the boots are sort of padded these days. They're not single layered like the old army boots of years ago, so yeah, so they got a Gore-Tex liner and stuff like that. That sort of helps as well. So I would say these are good for lowland and highland, summer definitely, and okay in the winter as well. Same with these, but same spec as these, but they're higher length. Same again, and I've got experience with these. They're good for the winter and summer, lowland and highland. All right, so this British Army sock of modern times, not sure, but I think they're a little bit thicker, like I said before, than the HJs. Not 100%, they seem almost exactly the same, but they're a little bit thicker. I think they got a little bit more wool in them. So, but I found them a little bit warm, okay, in the summer. Outside the summer months, brilliant, but in the summer, maybe not the army issue one of today. For some reason, maybe I haven't worn them in, and you know what, I don't know, but they are good, but they're quite warm. And as for the Arctic socks, don't even bother. They're too hot. All right, you can't wear these socks unless it's extreme cold weather. So you're looking at Britain, say in Britain, you're looking at winter in the mountains only, okay, not the lowland. Maybe the lowland, depends what your feet are like, but generally just don't bother, they're too hot. And they show the dirt quite easily as well, you know. So Anyway, that's it. That's all I gotta say about the socks. So there you go. Now, I have to say, when I was in the army and they had single layered boots, not padded or anything, they were supposed to be leather, but some people say they're compressed cardboard. But anyway, I've ended up with poor circulation in my one foot, and my nails are all gone white and rotten and falling off. And I reckon it was because of them boots, not the socks. The socks are all right, but I reckon it was them boots. I think there's other people suffering with the same thing. So but anyway, that's, I don't want to put you off your food. If you're eating, I'm sorry. Talking about horrible feet. But anyway, yeah, it's just not like from frost, like a frost nip thing. It's just poor circulation, I reckon, because of freezing feet. You know, I can remember walking along in somewhere on exercise, and from my ankle down was numb. And I thought, if I twist my ankle now, I'd never feel it. You know, I wouldn't feel it much, because it was so numb. But that's because of the socks. Sorry, that's because of the boots, not the socks. So, but anyway, I'll leave it at that. I'm waffling on, so you don't want to hear about horrible feet. So anyway, anyway, like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe if you desire, and I'll see you around. Cheers.